Your life is more meaningful than trying to look perfect all the time. Lovely feminine women, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're tuning in for another video. If you happen to stumble upon my face, my page, and somehow you got here, I would love it if you would press the subscribe button, that red button down below, because we are a community of feminine women who really enjoy living a traditional lifestyle, kind of focused on homemaking. As you know, my name is Cynthia. I am a Canadian homemaker. I'm a former Miss Earth Canada, and I've been doing these videos for about 1 year. As you can tell, I'm wearing pink, and today's inspiration happens to be inspired by Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is coming up, and also it was inspired a little bit by some DMs, some direct messages, some emails that I've had from a few of you. If you're familiar with my channel, my message, my contribution to this community of other women who also make YouTube videos, we are women who really seek to live traditional lifestyles. We think that an integral part of getting to that point is embracing our femininity. And for that reason, we tend to marry and we tend to want to attract masculine men. If you are already married like myself, please do not click out of the video, because I think that this kind of advice that I'm going to give you is just life advice that you could take in another way. This is also a conversation that I would love for you to add a comment down below, especially if you are married to a masculine man. A lot of you are drawn to masculinity because it's complementary to femininity, and the more you begin expressing your femininity and searching inside of you for that femininity and showing it to the world, you are going to want to seek a complementary counterpart. I want you to know that all women are different. We all have a spectrum of femininity and masculinity. So sometimes when I mention masculinity and you might have those characteristics, do not take it as me telling you that you are less of a woman. I am friends with all different kinds of women, and we are all feminine in different ways and kind of in different ranges. This video serves as a broad overview of how you can attract a masculine man, but keep in mind that this will be different for everyone. If you enjoy my channel, if you enjoy this community, please hit that like button, because it really helps push our videos out to other women so that they can really join this type of femininity revolution on the internet. Now, I would say that I am in a marriage with a very traditionally masculine man, and I have come to even notice that the more our marriage has progressed. I am so in love with my husband, and I am so happy, and it really is a mutually beneficial relationship. I want you to be able to have this same satisfaction in your marriage. This does not mean that a relationship with a masculine man, with anybody, is going to be perfect, but this just means that at the end of the day, you as a feminine woman are going to feel the most fulfilled. So without further ado, let me get into the more superficial aspects, and I will transition to the more intense aspects as the video goes along. And number one, of course, has to do with your femininity. I have a plethora of videos on how you can activate your feminine energy, on how you can become a more feminine woman. So I'm going to link my playlist above as well as down below, and I highly encourage that you take the moment to just play these videos in order to learn how to express your femininity. There are a few things that I want to say on the topic of femininity that I have actually not addressed in other videos. I think that a lot of women believe that they need to be a 10, they need to be this hot goddess in order to attract a masculine man. But I want you to actually know that this is false. Most men are not even going for a 10. The way that you can truly attract a masculine man is to understand that you do not need to be a perfect Barbie at all times. Your life is more meaningful than trying to look perfect all the time. But you just need to take care of yourself where you feel confident. Playing up aspects of femininity in your appearance, for example, is going to help you feel more confident. And when you feel more confident, I'm a big advocate of doing those things in order to activate the more interior elements of femininity, because these will then help you transition into being a more welcoming, open, and nurturing person. The world is full of superficiality, and the men that you're kind of going for, you want to attract somebody who's going to be here here for the long term. That being said, I want you to look at your femininity from a balanced standpoint. I want you to understand that the outer appearance is a tool to help you feel more confident, but the true purpose of femininity is a type of warmth that comes from within. This is the energy when you are inviting, when you are charming, that is going to help captivate the attention of the masculine man. Another point I want to say is that you do not need to be an extrovert in order to depict this energy. A true, kind compliment, a nice, warm greeting, a feminine facial expression are all tools that are going to help you attract masculine men. And another point that I have mentioned in passing in some of my videos is that a lot of us do have hobbies, or we do work to some degree outside of our homes. Our society is very money focused, and it's very focused on that go, go, go energy. This can really impede your femininity, but this does not mean that you need to quit your job to be the ideal woman. What this means is you need to know how to switch off that energy and understand that you're stepping into another role. I am big on pairing activities to signal to your brain that you are transitioning to that other role. This might mean taking a few seconds to yourself in your car to repeat some kind words. This might mean putting on a new outfit when you go home. There are so many different ways that you can do this, but the purpose is that you do not want to carry that energy into your social life. If you do not work a typically feminine career, that is totally fine, but recognize that chances are your future masculine husband is not marrying that person at work, but they are marrying the whole package and the type of person that you are, especially outside of your work when you are interacting with him. The next thing I want to talk to you about is to have hobbies, is to have interests. When we become kind of enthralled in this world of femininity, it's easy to become obsessed with it. It's easy to think that we need to reinvent ourselves to only do feminine hobbies. Now, I am a big advocate of feminine hobbies because they help you express your femininity. But if you have some non-feminine hobbies, I don't think that you should get rid of these. If you like to play football or ice hockey on the weekends, or you absolutely love watching sports or going to the shooting range, I do not think that you need to get rid of these things, because those are aspects of your personality. You can be a feminine woman but still have interests that don't necessarily fall into the stereotype of femininity. Remember, the more important aspects of femininity have to do with warmth, with nurturing, with a kind spirit. And I actually think that having interests that might not fit the feminine mold at all times might even help you bond with other men, because they might see this warm feminine spirit of yours, but find it kind of amusing and lovely that you have interests that are not stereotypically feminine as well. And I have to talk to you about your reputation. We have all gone through things where we have made mistakes in our lives. I have done it, you have done it, everybody has done it, and that is totally okay. I think that a part of being a mature feminine woman is owning up to your mistakes and being able to admit that you are wrong. You are going to probably divulge these mistakes as you become more committed in your relationship to a masculine man. However, you want to get out of some negative patterns of the way in which you might be behaving that caused you to make those mistakes. For example, promiscuity. It is so common for women to go to college now and to get involved in that hookup culture. As you transition later into adulthood, you might have realized that you made a lot of mistakes by being involved in that type of lifestyle. There's nothing that you can do about it right now, but you might want to seek the necessary help. You might want to do that inner work in order to not repeat those mistakes in the future. Now, there's another part to that. When you begin expressing your femininity, there might be a tendency of other women to push back and to criticize you. What I mean by reputation is not that you have a picture perfect reputation where people don't talk about your mistakes, where people don't badmouth you. That is kind of a part of life, and people will be doing that all the time. My version of reputation is kind of to encourage you to view the way in which you look at your own reputation. If you were talking about yourself from a neutral standpoint, not from a jealousy standpoint, other people talking down on you, but if you were talking about yourself from an objective point of view, what kind of things would you say about your reputation? And if you are able to tell yourself, and if you are able to say, look at how far this person has come, then that is a positive thing, and you want to keep doing the work to propel yourself forward. The last point is maturity. You have to understand that masculine men tend to be successful, and successful does not necessarily mean wealthy. This means that they take on leadership positions at some point in time in their life. That doesn't have to be their job necessarily. That could be a volunteer opportunity, for example. And men have different interests. They might be in a career that really speaks to their passions, that even if you are at the top, you're not going to make a lot of money. My point with this is that it takes a level of maturity in order to reach that leadership position or to do the work necessary to get to that point. The truly masculine man, the kind of man that you want to marry, isn't going to want to be with somebody who isn't mature. I talked about feminine innocence, but you have to understand that feminine innocence, a type of playfulness, does not mean that you are an immature woman, does not mean that you can't take care of yourself. You're going to have to be a mature woman if you really want to be a mother, and being a mother is a very feminine thing to do. Whether or not you want children, you do want to bring yourself to a point where you are mature enough to take on that responsibility if it comes into your life. There's a difference between taking care of yourself and being able to live on your own if you have to, in comparison to the I don't need a man culture that women are exposed to nowadays. Masculine men will want to do things for you, and they will want to see you live out your highest dream. And even if that has to do with being a stay-at-home mom or being a homemaker, they're going to want to give that to you. But they are going to want to know that you are right behind them, supporting them, and being mature enough to step into that role. Some of the easiest and most superficial ways in which you can show maturity is to invest in your homemaking skills. There are so many women who don't even know how to cook eggs, and I'm not saying that you need to be a chef, but learn how to cook, learn how to clean, and learn how to take care of yourself. You do not want to be a burden to your future husband. You want to be able to put your best foot forward and help him in whatever way that you possibly can. I've noticed this kind of trend as well, and I want you to look at me like a big sister because I do really care about you so much, as if I was your big sister. But there is this type of belief, and I understand because women are exhausted, they are overworking themselves, that they think when they become a full-time homemaker, for example, or if they transition to part-time work, that it is going to be some type of vacation, that being a homemaker is the type of vacation. But living a more traditional lifestyle with a masculine man and you appealing to your feminine energy doesn't mean that you aren't going to work as hard. This just means that you are going to be taking on roles that better suit your natural energy levels. This could be a conversation in and of itself, but my point is that you are going to want to show to that masculine man that you can be a positive influence in his life and that you do not take anything that you're doing with a lack of maturity. We are not children anymore, and you should work hard as a homemaker. And especially if you are a Christian, we are not called to idleness. We are called to work hard in whatever we are doing. We are not called to burn ourselves out. That's not what I'm talking about, but we are called to try our best. You all know that I always say there are so many points that I could add on to my videos, but I'm going to end the video there today. I think the sun is about to set. I have to get my dinner into the oven, and I wish you the best week ever. I look forward to our next video. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Please add me on my social media handles such as Instagram, because I love to talk to you all there as well, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, and I also wish you a happy Valentine's Day.